Yo, what's going on, boys?
Man, listen here, bro. I'm grateful to be in this booth right now and on this international episode.
Right. Everybody,
Yeah.
We got our boy Johnny here from Sydney, Australia. Johnny, man, how are you, bro?
I'm good, guys. Thank you so much. It's a privilege to be on your podcast. I've been watching you guys for quite some time now. Me and Sebastian have been coordinating for the past few weeks, ever since I stumbled across his videos. I'm one who likes to consider himself a chosen one, like most of us on here. And I've been embarking on my semen retention journey for quite some time now. And there's so many benefits to this journey. And I feel like being on this podcast, I can share a lot of insights and give you guys my firsthand experience and my my spiritual powers, you can say, when it comes to practicing this journey, because that's what it essentially is. It's a spiritual journey that men across the world who go on this journey, we're in the 1%. It's called 1% for a reason, because not many people go on this journey. And it's amazing to have brothers in America who I stumbled across, that I got in contact with, where it shows that spiritual brotherhood is beyond just where you're residing. It's international, man. It's global. This is a powerful
spiritual, bro.
All spiritual. We're connecting on a spiritual level for sure. Thank you guys for having me.
Absolutely, bro. We're just honored. Yeah, we're honored to have you here, man. You definitely have a high power level, and we're glad to have you here. And
Hey,
I'm gonna get into that intro, bro. You want me to get that intro knocked out real quick?
yeah, go ahead.
Go for it, man.
Let's get into
Let's go. Let's go, man. Welcome to the Unchained Podcast. The Unchained Podcast, everybody. This is your boy SpiritWar Martin, along with his podcast partner Sebastian, and a special guest. Ooh-wee.
Thank you. Ooh-wee.
Hey, no problem, man. This is pretty fucking cool right now. I'm excited. This is a step into a brand new direction.
I'm excited too, man. Ever since I woke up this morning, I had an epiphany, and I had a spiritual download, you could call it, where something guided me to message Sebastian and be like, look, I think my time's right. I'm ready to go on this podcast. So I've been tossing and turning now for the past couple of weeks, where I was like, should I go on when I'm on, a specific day? And it was like, I'm not counting the days now. I'm realizing this is a lifelong journey that I'm sacrificing, a lot to be on this journey. It's hard to be on this journey. It's not easy. You go through a lot of trials and tribulations, a lot of spiritual attacks. And I had a download and I messaged Sebastian. I'm like, I'm ready to go. I initially was thinking of episode 100, but it's episode 90 now. And I think the time's right, and everything in due timing. This is God's timing. It's calling me to come on this podcast and, just bring some light. And yeah, that's it.
That's what's up, man. Johnny, how did you want to give the viewers just a little bit of a background of how you found our podcast and how you found our videos, and then also how you got on SR, and what happened in the beginning and stuff like that?
Yeah, great question, Sebastian. So basically it started when I'm 21 currently. I'm turning 22 soon, so I'm in my early 20s, and it started when I was doing research into self-improvement and self-development. And I was going through a time in my life where I was operating at a low frequency, you could say, where I was, out partying, drinking, doing low vibrational things, hanging around the wrong types of people. And I realized there's something off about my energy. There's something off about me. I'm not reaching my full potential. So I was like, look, let me cut off pornography, and let me cut off like this low vibrational shit that I've been doing, masturbating and pornography, because that was a big problem in my life from my early teens to nearly 20 years old. This is nearly a decade of abusing myself, right? So I was like, let me cut this shit off. So I cut it off for like a week. I remember the first week, man, I felt invincible. I felt like this is it. Like I felt on top of the world. Nothing could stop me. I was so motivated, so driven. And it was because my body wasn't used to holding this much amount of energy. And it was just overwhelming for me. So I was like, holy shit, this is a God-given power that every man should do. So then, of course, after that, I started becoming obsessed with this journey, and I started, watching YouTubers talking about semen retention. And I stumbled across Seb Conscious because he made a video on a few videos like spiritual discernment, female attraction, how you're going to stand out from the rest, and all these captivating YouTube titles that catered to my interests. So I was watching the videos, and I was like such a huge fan from the get-go. I knew this guy was a spiritual guy. And then when I started watching his podcast, it just amplified my views on Sebastian as well. And then I got introduced to SpiritWar Martin through Sebastian. And I'm watching SpiritWar Martin videos every day. And this is on my commute to like my university, and whether I'm at work and it's a bit quiet, I will like chuck in my headphones and listen to you guys. And I was just like a huge supporter. And there was a point in time where it was just part of my routine to watch you guys and just plug myself into the Unchained podcast. And I wrote a message, a comment on one of Sebastian's video about nocturnal emissions, because I was worried about that. This is like during my journey, and I was still a beginner at that phase. Like I'm on my longest streak now, by the way, but that's quite irrelevant because I'm going to get into that later about how counting days is not important on this journey. Back to what I was saying. Yeah. So I made a comment about nocturnal emissions, and then you replied saying it's not a relapse, and it reassured me. Then I said, let me contact you, bro. And then you gave me your Instagram, and then we just hit it off from there. We became spiritual brothers and friends, and we've been talking ever since. And I've been giving Sebastian some video ideas about what he should implement into his YouTube channel. So the whole video about expecting the unexpected, that was my idea that he shouted me out on in the beginning of his video. And he's helping me so much when we're both going through some challenging times and spiritual attacks on this journey. I think it's crucial to have brothers like SpiritWar Martin and Sebastian, and you've got high vibrational kings. He's doing his thing as well. You've got, Dante Young, excuse me. You've got all these different YouTubers who talk about SR and help one another. I think it's a community it's a minority, and I think that this is what keeps us to keep going and keep persevering through all these attacks and all the spiritual warfare that we endure on a day-to-day basis. Because without a community, without forming close relationships with our SR brothers, we won't have the courage and we won't have the motivation to keep going, because there's days where you feel like giving up, and there's days where you feel like maybe this is not for me and this is not working out. But then you realize like it is working out, and it's just the demons playing in your psyche. They're getting in your head. It's very important to differentiate yourself from what's as a spiritual attack and your true inner self, and being aligned to your intuition, which is God. It's that voice inside of you that God's telling you that you're on the right track. And yeah.
Man, that was beautiful, bro. I appreciate everything that you had to say and all the kind words that you were saying. Martin, you got anything to say?
Man, I'm a very simple guy. I'm just, first and foremost grateful to just be connected, on this journey with, like-minded individuals, fellow retainers, anybody that's on their self-development journey in general. Because like our buddy said, we're all on our own type of pathway, but we're all going through the same shit at the same time type shit. So it's like, it's hard to explain, it's like living in two universes damn near, because you got your shit that you have to worry about in your personal life. And then you got the SR community as well that you tap into, because you guys are synchronized and shit. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, I'm just grateful, bro. I'm grateful to be here right now and everything that's going on, this movement, the building of God's army and shit, bro. You feel me? Yeah.
Army at play, 100%. Yeah, it's so true. It's hard to relate to people who aren't like-minded like us, who operate on a lower frequency. So it's so important to, connect with people who are on this journey, because we can relate when it comes to other beings who are roaming this universe. It's just we're indifferent to them because we're on such a whole different frequency that we can't really understand them. And it gets to the point, like SpiritWar Martin was telling me before we actually started recording this podcast, he was telling me that you know, like you start to realize the amount of negative energy in the world, and it's just enormous. About like you just go about your day and you start to like you get that spiritual discernment that SR gives you to kind of see through the bullshit, man. See through the lies that the world's selling us. See through people's motives, people's ulterior motives, people's true intentions. You're going to be able to pick up on that because that's that God-given essence that you're keeping inside of you that gives you those spiritual powers. And it's just amazing. And this sounds foreign to people who haven't embarked on this journey, but I really encourage anyone who's watching this right now who wants to start semen retention. I think that this is a stepping stone to reaching your full potential as a man. And it takes some time. It takes some time, man, but you're truly going to get there if you continue and you stay persistent with it. That's the key to this journey is persistence and consistency. And yeah.
Ooh wee, man.
Ooh-wee.
Martin, you want to get into those topics, my boy? Let's start this shit off. Let's get it going.
Absolutely, man. You know, we just hit a very nice freestyle rap at the beginning of the podcast, you know?
Yeah.
Very good.
Johnny, great, bro. Man, I appreciate everything that you just said, bro.
Hey, without you guys, I would not be here. Honestly, you guys are the ones that kept me going on this journey. If out of all the semen retention content creators, I think you guys are the most authentic. And I think that you guys are the most it's because you get a lot of semen retention content creators that use clickbait titles. They try to entice you with the whole female attraction, and they're missing the whole point of this actual spiritual journey. It's got nothing to do with attracting females. Of course, that's a byproduct of semen retention because they can sense a guy who's on his purpose and on his mission and who has high energy and has all this testosterone building up. But that's not the main reason we got on this. We got on this because we were living in a world where we were living. It was like a demonic vortex over our consciousness. Every time we'll do horrible demonic things to ourselves, right? And now it's like Sebastian said in many of his videos, it's unlifting the veil. We can see like the level of self-awareness that we have is just incredible. Our self-perceptions, our self-awareness, our confidence, our self-esteem, these are all, things as men that we have to have at our all-time high in order to sustain a healthy and vital lifestyle and be connected to God. And we can't do those things if we're doing low vibrational shit. So this is what separates us from the rest.
Man. Absolutely, bro. That's some real shit right there, bro. I agree with you 1000% on that. For podcast 90, my two homies, topic number 1. All right. You guys ready?
Yep.
Topic number 1. What are you guys? Well, let me choose who I want to go first. Sebastian, what are your thoughts on transmuting energy?
Well, our boy Johnny picked this topic. Great topic, bro. Thanks, the way that I take this is, I spoke about it in our last couple of podcasts, bro. But for me, I have the biggest problem. It's usually on my days off of work, because when I get set up with a day, and Johnny, you might be able to relate with me when because I know that you go to school and you're able to get your engine going on a regular basis, and it's basically those days where when I have work early in the morning and I got to get moving, I'm usually set up for a pretty good day because I'm transmuting energy without even realizing it. I hop on my bike, I get to work, and I do, I get moving. So I have trouble on days where I don't have something set up, and I have to transmute that energy. It's almost like a crisis situation. Martin, I know you feel me on that. We talked about it in our last couple episodes, but that is when I usually, that's where it comes in the most, is when, you have that stagnant energy and you're kind of just sitting around, bro, because when you retain for long periods of time, the energy is very intense. So, man, and I like to drink a lot of coffee too. So, me and Martin talked about our last episode. If you combine, that stagnant energy without transmuting with coffee and all that, you can get a spiritual attack pretty quickly. So that for me, that is usually when I struggle, so I'm actually working on implementing a routine, bro, to where, on my days off, I'm going to make sure that I get up early. It's almost like simulating going to work, but I'm going to like go to the gym, or I'm going to go to the park, maybe film a video or do something productive. Because I know that when I sit around and I don't transmute to start the day, I usually have problems.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's facts.
Absolute facts. Johnny, you want to go next?
Yeah. Just to add on what Sebastian was talking about, I absolutely agree with him when it comes to having a set routine. And I think semen retention, to receive the full benefits of semen retention, you're going to have to transmute your energy. And why this is so important is because stagnant energy, no one likes stagnant energy. If you look at the law of physics, energy can't be created nor destroyed. Therefore, transmuting this powerful energy that SR gives you makes you aligned more with the universe, and things start to work in your favor. And it's not just that, it's more so that stagnant energy, not pushing yourself when you have days off, like Sebastian said. I think that's dangerous, because that's when the flat lines kick in. That's when the spiritual attacks kick in. There's a good saying. It's an old saying, and it's an idle mind is where the devil is a devil's playground. That's where the devil roams. If you're just sitting at home, not putting in, the effort and transmuting your energy, you're going to get urges. You're going to get spiritual attacks. You might end up having a nap, and a succubus might appear in your dream because you're not transmuting that energy. And I think that's where the flatlines come in. So when you hear a lot of people who say, oh, SR's placebo, or SR's, I don't receive the benefits of SR, it's bullshit, man. It's probably because nothing has changed in their life. They're not going to the gym. They're not staying consistent with their studies or school. If they're doing that, they're not going to work and putting in the hours and doing longer shifts. They're not working on their goals and goal setting and affirmation. Right. They're not doing none of that, which doesn't complement SR. Therefore, they're not following what SR is all about. Therefore, they're not really on SR. They're not actually transmuting. So transmutation is probably the most important key factor that every man on this journey has to do. Because if you don't implement, transmutation, you're going to get frustrated. You're going to get irritated. You're going to get angry. All of these, demonic sort of dark emotions come out because you're not actually putting that energy in areas in your life that you want to excel in and you want to actually improve. And that's what this whole journey is about also. It taps into self-improvement. There's a correlation there because you're transmuting that sexual energy, your creative energy, into outlets that can make you a successful individual and a very serious individual. And if you're just sitting at home, so on your off days and you're not doing anything, that's a problem. So how do you combat that problem? In my opinion, I would say, man, when you have an off day and you don't got much planned out, make your bed, clean the house, do some dishes, go for a walk. If you got a dog, take your dog for a walk, or any pet. Do some push-ups, do some home workouts. Do some writing, read a book, do something productive. Don't just sit there and watch Netflix and binge watch TV reality shows, because that's only going to be detrimental to your SR journey. And like I said earlier, that's when the spiritual attacks happen most, man. That's my opinion on transmutation, I think.
Yeah, absolute facts, bro. From my personal opinion, personal experience, my bad on that. Personal experience, transmuting energy is very important. And looking at my old self, I didn't understand this concept. You know what I'm saying? Just stagnated energy and just, binge drinking alcohol like crazy and hanging around very toxic individuals in the stagnated crowd. And when I got on this SR journey and stuff and, isolated away from all this toxic energy, started working out, moving this energy around in my body, getting blood flow that I obviously didn't have happen in years, like my legs and shit, was walking around with chicken legs and shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? And now I work out my legs and get the blood flowing through my body and get the testosterone going. And it literally like moves the universe around me and shit now. And it's crazy how that is. Because when I wasn't working out, it seemed like nothing happened. I remember one day, bro, I had worked out like pretty like hard on my whole body. And I gained like probably like almost 10 subscribers that day. And then like another day I didn't work out and kept my energy stagnant. It was like nothing moved. Like, you know, I didn't gain subscribers. I didn't get many views on a video. You know what I'm saying? It's like my world was not moving because I was stagnated as far as my energy goes.
Yeah.
And
Like your
when I
clock.
did work out that one time and transmuted that shit in my body, everything else was moving.
Yeah.
100%. It's an energy blockage if you don't transmute
You
it.
feel
It's
me?
just
Yeah.
100%. The universe reacts to how you transmute the energy, man. And it's all about being aligned with the universe and transmuting it so the universe responds to you.
Ooh,
Um,
that is some powerful shit, bro.
Because you got to
Right.
understand, we're becoming one with the universe. We're
Yeah.
becoming one. Yeah, we're becoming one with the universe, man. So,
Man,
bro, when you're an SR, you and the universe are like buddies. You and the big homie upstairs are also buddies. You become one
man.
God. Therefore, anything you do impacts your surroundings and your environment. So if you're feeling motivated, if you're feeling confident, if you're feeling really good and you're using the energy to your best potential possible, people around you are gonna feel that energy and they're gonna respond that way. If you feel negative on this journey and you're having one of those days, the universe is gonna respond even more negatively towards you. It's like the energy amplifies wherever you go. So you got to be very careful you got to be very cognizant, cautious when it comes to staying positive on this journey, no matter how hard the spiritual attacks get, and no matter how hard life has, throwing its challenges your way. You really got to stay positive, man. That's what I've noticed as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely, man. Yeah. Very important to transmute energy for all of us out here, because when that energy is stagnant, man, that's when the devil and his punk ass army comes in.
Yeah. Real.
Man, great
Good job,
topic, guys. Great topic, bro. For topic number 2, guys, who wants to go first this time? Sebastian. All right, man. For topic number 2, bro, what are your thoughts on staying humble?
Man, this is a great topic, bro. Another one that Johnny picked.
Yo.
I was lucky, I feel like I've been blessed with some, I feel like since I was a kid, people have always kind of told me that I was like wiser, wise, like I've been an old soul or I've been wise. And I've always felt different in a way. And I feel like a lot of this comes with learning about humility, learning about being humble, bro. And I've just always felt different from most people because, as you know, the state of the world is very chaotic and everybody's in competition and everybody wants to be, the richest, the best looking, they'll have the best looking girl, all this stuff that's going on. But for some reason, I've been blessed to have that spiritual knowledge to, be humble, bro. And I think that it's essential, especially on this journey, bro. My dad kind of instilled that to me at a young age. And, I'm just grateful. I guess I'm just naturally a humble guy. I've kind of, there comes a point to where you can kind of see different people and, people that are arrogant and people that are, living for the worldly things and just, living like that, that's an ugly personality trait, in my opinion. So, I've kind of always been,
Absolutely.
I've always been kind of lucky to have that since a young age. And I just, I definitely lean into it. People have mentioned that to me a couple of times throughout my life, that I'm a humble guy. And I always really appreciate when people say that, because it's something I also appreciate in other people. It's important for us to stay humble. But I want to hear what Johnny had to say, where he wanted to go with this topic.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, Sebastian. I think everything he said is spot on. It's so true. My views on being humble is, on SR, if you don't have a close connection to God, there's no possible way you're going to be humble, and God's going to humble you whether you like it or not. So from my own personal experience, I remember when I first started this journey and I went, like, let's say my first 2 weeks, this is when I wasn't getting the spiritual knowledge that God was sending me, and I didn't really care about God. I cared about myself. So Sebastian has mentioned in many of his videos that he's known a lot of people who go on this journey, who do it for power. They do it for, things of this world, ungodly things. They do it for social power. They do it to get the female attraction and the confidence and all of these things. And then he says, but I know that a lot of people are transitioning into, okay, now this is becoming more of a spiritual journey where I'm getting closer to God. And I'm one of those people. I fit in that category where I initially went into this for the wrong reasons. And I was feeling so high in energy and so high of life, like nothing can stop me, and all of this bullshit that I was feeding myself, and I was feeding my ego, thinking every girl wants me now, which was totally wrong to think. God humbled the hell out of me. I went through this serious flat line and ended up relapsing. Like it's just the way it goes when it comes to SR. So what you got to realize is every man has this potential. It's not just me. If any man practices semen retention, we're not that special. Every man's got this in him. And I think that being humble on SR and being humble in general is the way to go, because you're going to get humbled whether you like it or not. It's building that close connection to God that makes you humble. And you live in a world where social media is built on egotistical foundations and egotistical people who just sell you a fake narrative, a facade, where they have, selling you a materialistic lifestyle, things of this world, women, cars, gold chains, jewelry, whatever the case is. And it lowers your vibration. That's why I think it's important to do a social media detox while on semen retention, and stay away from worldly things like social media and alcohol and drugs and all of that stuff, and stay sober, because then you'll just be on a different level, man. You'll be, and that's what's making you humble. You don't got any external influence over your psychology. You want to keep your thoughts pure and keep your thoughts as authentic as possible. The only way to do that is through practicing semen retention without indulging in worldly behaviors.
Absolutely right, man. That is some powerful shit right there, because, the way society has stuff set up now, they have so many like bear traps and so many roadblocks for you to just stumble upon. And it'll take you down the wrong pathway and shit, bro. And, it's important to stay humble no matter what, man, through all this chaos and shit in the devil's playground that we're going through right now, because, we're spirits having a human experience, here in this dark ass place we're in. So we're literally light bulbs that are humble, going through this this dark forest, as I like to say, and trying to raise the vibration in this shit, because it's a lot of egotistical behavior going on. And looking at my old self, I was a part of that. I'm not scared to say that I was a part of that toxic environment, operating at a very high level of egotistical type shit. You know what I'm saying? And now, since I got on this SR journey and been on this shit for like almost 12 months now, I'm very humble and like to sit back and listen to, individuals talk about whatever they got going on with them, instead of, trying to make it all about me and shit, because everybody got shit that they need to talk about. But yeah, like I said before, it's so negative in society nowadays. And you got social media and stuff too, that is programming people's minds to operate negative as hell, bro, and have the wrong perception of life. And it's good to just stay off that shit, like Johnny said, detox from the damn social media platform, so our minds can get more clear, and we won't be looking at everybody else elsewhere trying to be in competition, and we can take the time to look at ourselves. You feel me?
100%. Just to add on that, Martin, I feel like the egotistical thing, because everyone has a sense of pride and ego in them. It's hard to destroy that completely. But I think the longer you go on this journey, the less and less egotistical you get, and the more spiritual you get, and the more humble you get. So in the beginning, you might feel very egotistical because there's this new sense of energy that you're having. You've never had it before. You feel like nothing can get in your way. And then the longer you go, the longer you actually want to just listen to people and not be the center of attention all the time, and actually just be in the present moment and enjoy the present moment. So you got to realize, being humble and SR, bro, you're on a whole different level, man. Because think about it like this: 80% of communication is nonverbal. right?
Yeah.
Your energy speaks for itself. You don't even need to talk on SR.
You don't need to talk.
You don't need to talk. So, like, trying to prove something to other people that you're like this high frequency being who's better than others, that's just going to tear your spirit down. That's not where you want to be at. You generally want to be a kind-hearted individual who has good intentions, and you're a genuine human being. And that's what SR makes you. It makes you a genuine human. And
Yes.
it scares people away because it actually, like you guys mentioned this in your last podcast, like it unleashes people's demons because people don't come across people like us who are this genuine, and they could have more money than you. They could have more status than you, more power than you, but there's something that they don't have, and they're just going to envy you. It's just like,
Yep.
I think SpiritWar Martin made a video about that. So yeah, being humble is definitely very important.
And I wanted to touch on this a little bit, you guys. The humble factor. What I've realized is, two things that I've learned that have humbled me, that have gotten me to a place is, well, number one is pain. I've been through a lot of pain, and I've been through a lot of struggles. I don't know if you guys, I've told Martin knows my situation. I don't know if I told you, Johnny, but I've been through addiction stuff, and I was into that party lifestyle, and I ended up going down a bad road. So I've been through some shit, right? I've been through some shit. I've been through some stuff. So that is also how you gain humility too. When God puts you through some stuff, when you can really see the power of God and how God will humble you. When you're doing the wrong shit, God's going to humble you, bro. And that's, I feel like the closer you get to God, the more humility you'll actually gain. And you understand that we're all the same. Everybody's equal. We're all human beings. It's not like when God created us, he picked certain individuals to be better than the others. No, that's not how that works. Like, we're all the same. We all have different talents. I feel like we all have different unique skill sets. I'm obviously, maybe I'm good at one thing, Johnny, you're good at another thing, Martin, you're good at another thing, and we're not all good at the same things, but it doesn't make one better than the other. What I'm saying?
For sure.
Exactly.
Man, I was going to say something, but I think I just lost my train of thought, but it was something to do with, being humble and SR. I'll get back to it in a second. I just got to get that download. Give me a sec.
You good?
But back, like you said though, Seb, bro, everybody has their own special skill and ability, but it's up to us as people to use that shit together, and not try to look at each other as competition. We all got our unique skills. We need to team up and put that shit together. Like we trying to, we put all our skills. Like you watch that cartoon called Captain Planet and shit.
Yeah.
And they put all their rings together and shit, and then they summon the that's what we got to do, bro. You feel me?
Exactly. That's what we've been doing, my guy.
I got the download.
What is it, bro?
So is this basically, I was just going to say, it's not that important, but I was just going to say that, how you said, Sebastian, you were like saying how you went through a dark time, you went through addiction phase and all of those, that rabbit hole. I think every guy who goes on this journey had to be there at some point. Otherwise, we wouldn't be on this journey. So it's very important to emphasize them, like, the significance of going through those hardships in your life where you're at rock bottom and you're doing the wrong things. But it took, I think, the Holy Spirit, I'm pretty sure the Holy Spirit spoke to us when we knew there was a calling, when we knew this is time for us to give this shit up and to God's attention. So that's what I also think differentiates ourselves from other men who know what they're doing is wrong, but they don't go on SR. Because I think SR is the first step in order to improving your life, man. And I think all of us had to go through those hard times to get here to where we're at now. And we're still going through hard times now, but just in different ways.
Right, but we got God
hard times when we're fighting demons. We're not indulging with the demons. We're not best friends with the demons. We're actually fighting them now. So the tables have turned, but the tables have turned for the better, not the worse.
Right. We used to be best friends with those demons. Now we have the Holy Spirit, so it's like we're operating in an entirely new way. You know what I'm saying? So.
Oh man. Ooh, that is some powerful shit, bro.
This podcast is getting heated, guys.
Yeah.
This is this is exactly what I expected going into. I just knew, because we're so tapped in and we're on the same frequency, I just knew that 3 like-minded individuals is a powerful video to make, like, to have.
Of
Like,
course. Yeah, man. It's an honor. It's an honor to have you on here, bro. You are our first guest, all the way from Australia. You know what I'm saying? So it's an honor to have you on here, bro.
thank you, guys.
Absolute facts, bro. Very good topic, guys. On to topic number 3. What are your guys' thoughts on the music feeling way more intense now that you are on SR?
Sebastian,
Johnny,
okay,
Johnny,
you want
go for it. Dog.
all right. So I'm a guy who's always considered myself a huge hip hop fan. That's the only genre that I listen to.
Yeah.
Other than sometimes I listen to a bit of reggae, a bit of techno, but I've always been a huge hip hop fan. I used to rap back in the day, and I still like to rap. Yeah. So I still to this day have a problem with, listening to those mainstream American hip hop artists. And I'm starting to realize, while I'm on SR and I'm getting closer to God and I'm getting all these spiritual messages from God, I'm starting to realize that these certain individuals are pushing an agenda and a narrative that's actually, detrimental to our spiritual journey, where they're pushing things that we're trying to get away from, such as, like things that are immoral, like sex, partying, guns, violence, all those things, drugs.
Yeah.
We were once jamming to that, thinking it's cool, thinking we're the coolest guys in town, listening to that type of music. But now we're realizing this is actually, we're becoming more spiritually mature. We're becoming more in our masculine. We're realizing this is actually an agenda that they're trying to push on young, impressionable men to make them weak, to make them, to control them, to control their brain, their thinking patterns. And I've realized sometimes I listen to some music that's low vibrational and I feel off. Like my energy just feels off.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, then I put 2 and 2 together and I realize it's probably that song that I listened to this morning. That song has portals. It opens portals into this physical realm, because we're living in a physical reality and a spiritual reality. So it opens portals from the spiritual world into our physical world, and then it's like a cycle of feeling like shit because you're listening to shit. It's McDonald's music. If you want to listen, if you want to listen to some music on this journey, guys, I recommend some high frequency music, such as, some jazz, maybe listen to some like gospel music, some calm, peaceful, like nature, mental stuff like that. Maybe you can listen to some rap music, but some, PG rated stuff that's not gonna put you on a lower vibration. But I think, music really hits different. You hear it differently, you perceive it differently. The instrumentals, the beats and the 808s, you can just hear it more efficiently. Like it's just much more vibrant. So yeah, this it makes you pick up on these things where before you wouldn't really think of this stuff. It just makes you think more outside of the box.
Yeah. Martin, why don't you go, bro?
All right. Yeah, from my personal experience, music for me now is way more powerful and I'm way more sensitive to it. Looking at my old self when I was partying a lot. I was part of a metal band and shit, and was lead guitarist and was putting out dark energy, playing these, covers of bands and shit, but I wasn't aware of how powerful that dark energy is. I was basically doing witchcraft and didn't even know what I was doing. You know what I'm saying? And just, being lustful and putting out the dark energy from the music that I was listening to. And it put me down in a negative state, and that's dangerous shit, and music will do that. It'll get on your subconscious and it will literally shape you into something that you're not, if you listen to it, enough. You feel me? And then, I got on SR and shit, bro, and got down that pathway for a bit and, strayed away from music for a bit and then started listening to it again, started listening to some, modern day hip hop music and shit. And it's very low vibration. And like, you know, like Johnny said, you know, you listen to some songs and you feel off as hell after listening to that shit.
Yeah.
You know, I listened to a song by Lil Baby one time and felt off as hell after that shit, bro.
Right.
You know, and the music that I like to listen to is a lot of old school music and a lot of instrumentals.
Yeah.
Now, you know,
Yeah, I've
more
noticed the
high
instrumentals.
vibrational.
Yeah, the
Mhm.
instrumentals.
You know what I'm saying?
Yup.
Yeah, bro.
100%.
And you know what? I wanted to touch on this a little bit too. Like Martin, I know we've talked about this a lot too, but you guys, the producers, they know how to throw in like certain frequencies into the beat. So that's why you listen to artists like maybe Post Malone or Justin Bieber or the Kid Laroi, you know, shout out to Australia. But basically, you know, some of these, the frequencies that they're putting into some of these songs, like that's why you listen to like maybe a Post Malone song and within 3 seconds, all of a sudden you're feeling like nostalgic or you're feeling depressed. You know, it's because they have a frequency they're setting the beat to, and then obviously the lyrics and stuff. They you know, it's almost like casting spells. You know, so
Yeah.
there's an agenda. All this stuff. You know, Justin Bieber, for example, he's the one that, you know, he'll get all these girls, you know, fanning over him, and he makes them, you know, all his songs have that, you know, nostalgic, depressive, or whatever emotion that is. You know, it's very, you guys know what I'm talking about, but it gets the females feeling some type of way, you know. And the same thing goes with the rap and like the drill music, you know, all this stuff. It gets you into an aggressive mind state to where you know, your adrenaline goes up, and it's not good for you, bro. You know, it's honestly gotten to a point for me, it's a struggle, bro, because I've listened to that music most of my life. So I'm still trying to figure it out. I've canceled a couple artists. I canceled Lil Uzi, I canceled Playboy Cardi, a couple other these artists, bro, because it's just getting too demonic for me, bro. And I can't,
Yeah.
I can't support that shit. Like, you know, when God's doing all this work on me and transforming me, why am I gonna go spit in his face and listen to this worldly demonic ass music? You know, so it's something that I'm trying to work on.
Absolutely, my guy, man. That's 100% true. And you start to realize on SR, everything is energy. So the music is energy, and it's dark energy as well. It's frequency of the day.
Right.
The energy is dark as hell now, bro, especially with that shit that Lil Uzi Vert and Playboy Cardi was doing and shit. You know what I'm saying? They both was on stage looking like they was in a metal band or some shit, and was putting out dark energy on the crowd with them young kids and shit. And then they had young kids in the crowd just throwing up devil horns and was like laying on the ground and shit, convulsing, and all types of crazy shit going on, bro.
Man. That's the world we're living in. We got Lil Nas X twerking on Satan in the music video.
Going down the giant stripper pole and shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, these people worship Satan, bro, and then they take a vow of silence. You know, when they go like this and they do that. Obviously, you got the one-eyed symbolism, which is to let people know that they're in that group. But then when they go like this, that's the vow of silence. That means that they're not allowed to speak on, you know, this vow and speak on the oath that they took to join this group. So when you see them go like this, that means that they're in that group and they're not allowed to speak on it. That's why they're very secretive with the agenda and what, you know, all this stuff that they're pushing.
Of course, man. And it's like the devil's infiltrated the music industry, and they're basically worshiping the devil through their lyrics and everything the devil wants to perpetuate to the youth. And 100% with the whole symbol, the one eye symbol. It's all part of the elitist club. It's all part of the Freemason agenda that they're pushing on the youth and on people in general. This is the new world order that we're living in, guys. This is why being on semen retention right now, it's punching the devil in the face, because that's the last thing the devil wants is us to be strong, independent thinkers that can't be controlled. Because once they can control you, that's it. You're just another pawn in the game, just another pawn in the system. They can't get a hold of us guys on SR, man. So we're in a different
Johnny.
Yo,
John, I want you to will you tell Martin that story about how you met the guy, the elite that said that, you know, they don't want people to know about SR?
Yeah, so I basically met this guy through this activism campaign I was going through. This is through university. I met him. We had a meeting and stuff like that. And I told him about semen retention when I first started this journey. And he didn't want me to be going on it. He was like, oh, that's all bullshit, man. Like, don't be doing that stuff. This guy's in a powerful position in politics in Australia. And I wouldn't say he's elite status, but he's up there, right? So he mingles in crowds that are pretty prominent in prominent positions. And he was telling me like SR's bullshit, don't do it. And then come to find out, one of my friends told me that this guy cultivates his sexual energy and transmutes it into his his like work. His aura is really powerful. And I've always noticed when I wasn't on SR, like, this guy's pretty powerful. Like, every venue, every restaurant we go into to have a discussion on a topic that we're talking about, me and a bunch of other people with him were like, holy shit, like, this guy can draw people in. He's very magnetic. And now I'm on SR and I'm getting that sort of attributes that this guy has. And I'm realizing this guy, he doesn't want me to be on it because he's on it and he knows it's so powerful, and it's such a powerful tool that it can change a young individual guy like myself, and it can change so much men out there. And he wants to basically have control over people, and he wants to have power over people, and he can't get that if people are practicing SR like himself. So yeah, I do believe that the elites are trying to hide this. That's why they're trying to push this sexual liberation movement, the sex agenda. They're trying to push this on people, because the more people find out about semen retention, the more popular it gets, the more it's marketed on a global scale, the more the elites will get exposed, the more the truth will start to come out, and the more people will start to wake up. And that's the last thing they want. So yeah, that's my 2 cents.
That's what they're scared of. They don't want us to know about this shit because they know once we find out, it's gonna snowball. And when it snowballs, it's game over for them. You know?
100%,
right, bro.
Oh, man, it's
Ooh,
like bro.
I heard somebody explaining it yesterday. Essentially, it's like they want to keep us in a box because it makes us easier to like the masses. You know, obviously, they're gonna know that, like, you know, some people are more advanced. You know, guys like us. You know, anybody that gets this information, that means that you're on some form of spiritual level, to where, like, we're not just getting this information like on a whim. You know, it's like it's meant for people like us. So the rest of humanity, you know, they're trying to put them in a box, bro. And they're trying to do that because it makes them easier to control, you know? So if everybody found out about this, they wouldn't be able to control the masses and make all that money and do whatever whatever agenda they're trying to push. So that's why they do it.
Look at Kabbalah, which is Jewish mysticism. A lot of the elites are in this Kabbalah. It's this old ancient practice, and in their book, there's a whole chapter on sexual alchemy and preserving your sexual energy and transmuting it into becoming a powerful individual. So the elites sure do this practice. And it's funny because everything that they sell to us, where it's materialistic things, whether it's, you know, sexual, lustful things, you know, whether it's whatever the case is, that's, you know, worldly things, they're not doing it themselves. They're not. A lot of these elites don't even allow their kids to watch TV because they know how dangerous it is. Even though they're behind the media, they know that they care about their kids, but they don't care about us. That's just how they are, man.
That's the truth, because a lot of them, they got us as the people doing this toxic shit, but when their own kids, they don't have social media, they don't have tablets, they don't have none of that shit. Yeah, because they know how dangerous it is. You know?
Right. Amen.
Ooh, wait. Oh, man, that is crazy.
This
Great
is real
topic,
life.
guys. Great topic, guys. For real. Topic number 4. What are you guys' thoughts on being patient while on your SR journey?
Martin, you want to start that one off, bro?
Yes, I can absolutely start this fire here. From my personal experience, you know, looking at my old self, I was never patient and would get rattled very easily. It seemed, you know, because yeah, like I said, man, I had like a serious alcoholic problem. So it seems like I couldn't face reality without being off something, like off alcohol or smoking weed or something. So it's like I would be very, very irritated all the time easily and didn't have no patience for shit. And
Yeah.
getting on this SR journey, you know, it helps you heal and it helps you build your patience up.
Yeah.
And I'm way more patient now than I, you know, looking back at that old bullshit. Yeah, I can tolerate, you know, a lot more easier now, you know, because I, you know, sit back and analyze now. I observe, you know, I take deep breaths now, you know, and
Right.
have more mindful thinking of things. And yeah, just, you know, not being a loose cannon out here and shit like I used to be, bro. You know, it's very important for us to have patience, especially when it comes to God as well.
Yeah.
Being patient when it comes to the big homie upstairs, you know, it's very important because he will bless you when you go through this process of being patient, even when the situation you are going through can take you all the way out of character.
Right.
You know, but when you stay patient and shit, bro, the reward from that is very great.
Yeah, absolutely, man. The way that I see this topic is basically reminds me of like maybe when I'm going through like an attack or a flatline or something like that. You know,
Right.
it's important to you know, be able to remember, you know, who we are. You know, when we're tapped in with God, we're feeling good. Maybe we're having, you know, one of those high energy days where, you know, we feel like our true authentic self. I think it's important for us to remember who that is, you know, first and
Right.
foremost, remember who that version is, you know, of ourselves. And for me, that's just what it is. Like, I feel like being tapped in with God, it allows me to have more patience, especially on this journey when you're going through those hard times, because they definitely pop up. You know, that's why I always tell people, like, Johnny, I mean, when you were going through that flatline a week ago or something, that's pretty much what I told you too. You know, just hang in there, be patient, because it's going to pass, you know, eventually. So that is, I mean, I think the power of God is definitely the most important aspect in understanding, you know, who you are at the core, because we can experience a lot of changes, bro, on this journey. When we get attacked, we have flatlines. So it's super important to stay patient and just remember that it's all part of the process, you know?
Absolutely.
Yeah, 100%, man. Yeah, thank you so much for helping me on that flatline journey. This is why it's very important to have spiritual brothers to help you on this path, man. But yeah, I think patience is important as well. I think that like what Martin was saying and what Sebastian was saying was totally true. And Martin was saying, like, you know, I had a problem with alcohol. You know, I went down that rabbit hole too. I think it makes you more emotionally stable when you're on semen retention, where
Yeah.
you don't really fall for the traps of, because before semen retention, most of us guys were acting out of emotion, where we were emotionally attached to things because we had to escape. We had escape mechanisms that would help us, you know, go through hard times in our life. Some for us was PMO, some was, you know, alcohol, some was drugs, some was smoking weed, whatever it is. I think SR makes you more grounded and makes you more emotionally stable, where you don't let your emotions take control. You think more logically. You're in the masculine, not the feminine. And I think that's very important. And it's like you have nowhere to run. It's like basically you have to face your demons head on. This is why patience is key on SR, because you start to heal from trauma. Like Martin, you all these traumas that come up from your past, whether it's your childhood or recent traumas you're going through, or things you're going through in your life, personal concerns. SR makes you deal with that face on and head on as a man, and it's your responsibility to take care of that, take care of business, and that's where it gets you to that state, man. So I think, yeah, being patient is very important on SR for sure.
One thing I wanted to mention to you guys is I get a lot of comments from people who are always like, you know, at what day is the female attraction going to set in? At what day am I going to get this? And what day am I going to start becoming magnetic? At what day, you know what I'm saying? And I try to tell these people that, you know, everybody's different, you know, on this journey. You definitely have to stay patient when it comes to like I just get a lot of specific questions as far as the benefits and stuff. Like it's like, what exact day are the females going to be attracted to you? I'm like, bro, it doesn't work like that. You know what I'm
It doesn't
saying?
work like that, man. I think about that like, I think it's not about knowing which day the benefits kick in. Don't even think of the days, because think of it as a lifestyle. Because once you think of the benefits won't come. Once you do this journey for God and you know this is the right thing to do, like you say all the time, Sebastian, you know, retaining every day, that's like it's a good day, you retain. And that's what I essentially think it boils down to. The core of this is that once you think too much of the benefits and the female attraction, it won't come up. It might come later, but it won't come up right away. Once you ignore the female attraction and you just focus on your mission for God and your purpose as a man, that's when the benefits are just going to go through the roof. So I think it's really important to not get caught up in this whole benefit thing. I think the benefit timeline, yeah, and the days. Like it's cool to count the days in the beginning because it's new and you just want to keep track of your progress. That's awesome. I think once you reach that 90-day mark, I think that's when it becomes a lifestyle. I think you've basically exceeded the physical benefits. That's when it starts getting spiritual after the 90-day mark. So yeah. So I think after you hit 90 days, just make it a lifestyle. And yeah, that's it. I don't think that counting the days and benefits is necessary. Even Mark the Messenger said in one of his videos I watched about female attraction, he was talking about how some guys don't get female attraction and they're frustrated. He goes, consider yourself blessed, because isn't that why we're on this journey? Because we're not trying to think about women. We're trying to fulfill the role of a masculine man who puts God first, who, you know, takes care of his empire, takes care of his family, who has protective leadership qualities. Isn't that the aim of semen retention? But look, I think the female attraction, the magnetism, all of those profound benefits that is you know, is on the forefront of all the thumbnails on semen retention videos on YouTube. I think all of that's true. I don't think but I think all of that's true because I've witnessed it. Martin's witnessed it. Sebastian's experienced it. Like we all experienced it. But I don't think that's the reason why we're on this. I can't stress that enough. Like the reason why we're on this is for God and God only. And yep, for the man upstairs, man, and big homie upstairs.
There you go. That's what's up, man. All right, man. Let's get moving on here. Topic number 5, gentlemen.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on moving in silence?
I'll start this one off, bro.
All right.
This is just a massive realization for me, you know, going on SR, how, you know, especially when you start tapping in with God, how, you know, the Holy Spirit can transform you. I had a huge problem, bro. And I think the world has a big problem with this is being addicted to that validation, right? You know, social media and being addicted to validation from other people, you know. I think it's like one of the biggest problems, honestly. Like when I sit back and I look at the world and how big social media is, and when I looked at how like fucked up certain people are, like maybe if it's old friends or people that, you know, I'm observing on social media, and I'm like, man, like this person is just kind of, you know, like, I'm not trying to sound super judgmental at all. I'm just saying it's very noticeable how everybody is so stuck on just, you know, they just post pictures of random things just to get reactions from people, you know, and, you know, they share all this stuff about their life, and it just reminds me of my old self, bro. You know, before I went on this journey, I was hooked on, you know, hitting people up and trying to get their reactions and get their approval and validation for you know, all this random shit. And no, it never worked out. So what I've learned is, you know, I just keep to myself and keep to my small circle, bro, and just move in silence, and things go a lot smoother.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I'll go next on this one. From my personal experience, yeah, I didn't move in silence either. Yeah, posting a lot of pictures on social media, getting validation. I was the same exact way, bro. And it seemed like yeah, like that was a very common behavior or some shit. was to get validation. And at the time I didn't understand how toxic it was and how much it was destroying me. But now, you know, looking back at that, it's like, dude, I'm never going back to that type of shit ever again, because you know, you don't need validation from individuals here in this earth realm. You need validation from God, you know, the big homie upstairs. That's who we need validation from. You know, because when it comes to individuals who obviously aren't like-minded or on the spiritual pathway with you, it's not going to go right. It's just, you're just going to be disappointed. And it's just important to move in silence, you know, keep your plans or whatever you got going on between you and the big homie upstairs, you know, keep it between you and God, and not tell individuals what you got going on, because they will take it and make it seem like it was their idea the whole time. And they'll go tell other people, you know, hey, you know, check out this idea or whatever I got going on, when, you know, it was yours the whole time type shit. So it's important to protect your energy and your whatever you got going on your journey, bro. Just move in silence, keep it between you and God.
Right.
That's 100%, bro. My input on that is I'm going through this right now, actually. I struggle a lot with validation and like trying to get validation from others till now. So this is an issue that I can't really speak of because I'm still in the beginning phase of my journey, where I haven't gotten to the point where SpiritWar Martin is and Sebastian is, where I'm still like, I'm realizing that I feel content with myself and secure with myself. So I don't really seek the validation as much as before, but there's still some part of me that likes it. So I like getting the female attraction. That's the problem like that I'm facing now. And, you know, I'm trying to get away from that. So hopefully one day when I get back on this podcast, if I'm ever on it again as a guest, I will tell you guys, look, I conquered that demon of just not wanting validation all the time. And that's what I'm going through right now, guys. And I think it's spiritual attack. And I've been posting a lot on social media as well. So I'm trying to refrain from that, as like trying to get away from that as much as possible. But I think because my power level's been up lately, where I just want to like post, but it's not good. I'm realizing that this is ego, man. And this is like the battle of semen retention. You start to analyze yourself and you start to say, I'm doing this wrong. And I know what I'm doing wrong. And I take accountability. I'm not afraid to take accountability, where before I would always justify my behavior. Now I'm saying, you know what? I'm wrong. I shouldn't be posting on social media all the time, showing where I'm eating or how I'm looking like, and trying to show off my power level. Like all of that shit is based on ego.
You got a high one, bro. Bro, you got a high one, bro.
Yeah.
Most
man. Thank you guys. Like it's always remember to put God first, and that's where the power comes from. It's not from me. Right. The power that Sebastian and Martin and I have is from God, guys. And I'm gonna keep battling on. We're warriors out here, man.
Facts.
Absolutely. You know, like all of our powers that we get are definitely from the big homie upstairs. Like that analogy that I used earlier, bro. Like, we all have our special skills and shit, but we all have to put our rings together.
Yes.
You know, and summon, you know, God, aka Captain Planet and shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Gotta work together, bro, for the big homie upstairs and shit. But
music to my ears.
Topic number 6, guys. Y'all ready for the grand finale and shit, bro?
Yeah, let's go.
All right, man. Topic number 6, bro. What are your guys' thoughts on how sleep becomes irrelevant on your SR journey and shit, bro?
Oh, wait.
Johnny,
I'll take over from here. I've noticed that because of the energy that you get from SR, you're gonna need a lot less sleep.
Yeah.
And I realized that sleeping is the cousin of death. It's not something that every man needs. The whole rhetoric of you need 8 hours of sleep a day to be able to function. Bro, I've been functioning at optimal level. Like my mental clarity is through the roof now. My focus and my tunnel vision, and I'm so tapped in. on like 3 to 4 hours of sleep, where before I needed like 8 to 10 just to function. Now
Yeah.
all I need is 4 to 5. So I think when you've got that high level of energy that God gives us, you really don't need sleep as much. And I don't think it's that crucial and that important to base your whole existence around how much sleep you get. Yeah, sleeping's good for, like, I think everyone needs a few hours of sleep a night, but I don't think that if I don't get enough sleep, I'm gonna like suffer the next day. If anything, we were speaking about this earlier before we actually recorded, and we were talking about how sleeping sometimes too much, staying in bed too much, actually, makes it harder to transmute the energy, and it makes you more lazy and unmotivated. So I think it's so that's my views on sleep. I think it's not that important, and SR makes it that way. It's just clear and evident.
Facts, bro. Yeah, like that oversleeping. Yeah, I feel like I'll say it again, but sometimes I have a hard time kind of adjusting, bro. It usually takes me. Lately, I've been doing this thing where I do the Wim Hof. I do breathing techniques where I'll do 30 deep breaths. And then I'll get it to where my nervous system wakes up, and then I'll do some push-ups, and then I'll drink a lot of water, and usually when I hop on my bike and get to work, I'm usually feeling pretty alert and woken up. But sometimes it takes me a while to shake off that residual spirit world trauma or whatever the fuck was going on during the dreams. What I'm saying, who knows what was going on. So but yeah, bro, I'm the same way. I feel like that 4-hour number is like the magical number for SR. It's like that 4 hours is like 4 is enough, bro. I feel like everybody keeps saying 4 hours for it.
Man.
It's true. Sometimes
100%. And I've been waking up at like 3 a.m. as well, which is a spiritual sign, man.
Right.
Ooh wee.
Like sometimes I'll even have like 2 hours, and it's like as soon as like getting up, I kind of have to peel myself out of the bed. But once I get going and I'll drink some water, flush my system out, and then have a cup of coffee, it's like I'm right back into that SR energy, and I'm good,
Man, bro. Yeah, I feel you on that. It's definitely some powerful shit going on behind your SR journey and the way sleep operates now, because you don't need much of it. You don't need much sleep anymore. And from my personal experience, that number 4, I don't know what it is about that number 4, bro, but it's always 4 hours of sleep or some shit. And I'm right back up as if nothing happened.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Off of 4 hours. And then looking at my old self when I was busting nuts left and right, I would be asleep all the time. It damn near felt like death.
Yeah.
Because you be sleep so damn much and busting your life force out and stuff. You don't have any life to you, bro. But now you do.
It's because you're telling your body that you've done its job to procreate. The reason that we're here is to procreate and bring about new generations, right? So when you bust a nut, your body thinks that you basically procreated. Yeah, so it's gonna be like rest a little bit, like sleep.
Man,
you feel hungry. That's
you
why
just made a child. You just made a child.
Right. Just made an invisible ass kid, bro.
Yeah.
Right.
But that's why we're so glowing on this journey, is because we're keeping those children within us, and we've got all these spirits in us. Yeah.
We have like millions. We got millions of kids in us, bro. You feel me? Millions.
Yeah.
You heard me?
Facts.
Ooh wee.
Wow.
Yeah, bro.
That was a deep topic. That was did we all go? We all went, right?
Yeah.
What are your views on sunlight? Like getting sunlight on SR, guys. What do you guys do about that?
Super important, bro. Martin, go for it, bro.
Yeah, go for it.
All right. Yeah, getting sun is very important for all of us, man, because you're getting the proper, obviously, vitamins and all the proper energy that we need. Okay.
There it is.
Yeah, sorry.
What happened?
So someone came into the room, so I just had to talk to them for a bit.
Oh, you good?
Okay.
Yeah. It's all good though.
Right.
It's all good. Sorry about that. Yeah, so you're saying getting sun is very important. Optimizes something, your sleep, was it?
Getting sun is important because it gives you way more energy. You get way more energy, and obviously, you know, it helps produce a glow to yourself. But first and foremost, man, I feel like, you know, from my personal experience, it reduces my sleep. You know, like,
Oh yeah. You
yeah,
got more energy. You're getting that vitamin D. I think it's very important to get sun early in the morning, and don't open your phone. So get out of bed, get some
Yeah,
natural sunlight
facts.
in for like 5 to 10 minutes. Just let it sink on your face. And I noticed when you're on SR sun gazing, it's like so powerful, man, because you're getting all
Feels
that.
amazing.
It feels amazing. Where before you would avoid the sun when you're not on SR. You're
right.
like, away,
On
sun.
some
Now you
vampire
just like
shit.
embrace it because you're like this light being in a dark world, just like give me sun. And I'm noticing
Right.
like
a damn
I'm
gargoyle.
starting
Like a
to like
vampire.
exactly, bro. And I'm starting to like despise being in dark rooms. I'm always turning on the light. I'm always putting the shutters up and the window up. Like it's just because you're more in tune with God, man, and God's
Right.
creation. You just become one with nature. And yeah, just going on like morning strolls. It's just beautiful morning walks. Yeah, you just
It
Yeah,
is.
bro.
appreciate the universe, man.
Oh, man.
It's
That's
very
my
beautiful.
favorite part of the day is when I wake up and I'll go onto my back patio. It's pretty sunny where I'm at. I live in Arizona, so I just be sitting, bro. I sit in my lounge chair. I'll turn on some a Bible study or something, or I'll listen to one of our podcasts and try to figure out how we can get better and articulate ourselves better, and just whatever I'm doing, bro. I got my morning routine, but sun is definitely number one on the list as far as how to start the day.
Absolutely. Yes. That is the absolute truth, bro. Yeah, it's nothing better than starting your day off with, sun gazing, absorbing that energy, and also grounding, going out in your yard barefoot and shit, bro. Soaking all the energy up through your feet.
Oh
you
yeah.
know?
Oh, I feel you
Yeah.
on that one, man.
Yep. Very important shit, bro. For real.
Yeah.
It's like we turn into some damn hippies when we go on SR. It's like, oh, I love the sun, bro. Let's get take our shoes off and
Bro, it's just like the animals gravitate towards you as well. You just have
Right.
dogs, cats coming up to you. Like you just notice that birds want to be next to you. I've noticed that there's a trail of birds in the sky a lot of the times when I'm tapped in. Like I'm walking and I just see a bunch of birds in the sky flocking together, and I'm like, that's a sign, man.
It is. Because that shit be happening to me too, bro. Like one time I was outside and there was like 3 flocks of birds that flew over my head and shit. 3 of them.
Bro, and it's right over your head as well. That's insane.
Yeah. Like what the fuck? And then sometimes I'll be having squirrels up in the tree. They'll be up on the tree branch looking down like literally right at me, making noise and shit.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't have the experience with the squirrels, but I do with the birds, man. We don't got much squirrels. We only got lizards, snails, like we've got freaking great white sharks and stuff.
Damn.
Yeah, it's a different world out here when it comes to animals, man. We've got crazy breeds.
Yeah.
Facts, bro.
I gotta get out there someday, bro. I'm hoping I can get out there and one day go swim with
you,
sharks.
Sebastian and Martin, you guys are invited to come down to Australia anytime. I'm gonna look after you guys and give you guys some good hospitality, and we're gonna all be on SR, which is gonna be so cool.
Right.
Of
So
course.
much beautiful scenery here, beautiful beaches, beautiful hiking trails. Yeah, so when it comes to nature, Australia is it's up there, man.
Absolutely, bro.
Awesome, bro.
Yeah.
Absolutely. This whole journey in general is just a beautiful thing, just to be able to connect, and have these talks like this. This shit is probably the coolest shit I've ever been involved in.
Right.
Real shit,
Yeah,
bro.
bro. Hey.
I've been involved in a lot of groups and a lot of social social groups in my past, but one thing I could say about the SR community and why it's so different is because, like we were touching on earlier, is we're all going through similar experiences, like the whole bird thing that we're just talking about, and experiences, but we're living separate lives. And it's so cool to have a daily chat about things we're going through, because it's like we just have this spiritual connection that it's really hard to explain. It's almost unfathomable.
It's like we're in a secret club, bro.
Yeah, it is, man.
Yep. Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Like a damn near, it's damn near like it's a secret society, but we have good energy.
Yeah, it's like we're like working on the good side, not the bad side. So the
There
elites,
you
they're
go.
bad side. They're doing these ones, and we're doing doing these ones. We're pointing up to God, man.
Yeah,
Exactly.
praying
Going
God.
straight up.
Facts,
For real, bro. I know
Well,
that's right.
Hey boys,
Well,
I got to get to sleep, so we could probably wrap this one up, man. Johnny, bro, you did amazing, man. Martin, you did amazing as well, bro. I really appreciate you guys, man. This was a blast, bro.
absolutely.
Yep. It was honestly a pleasure to be on the podcast, guys. Apologies if I was high energy speaking a lot. I think I'm just on that high power level, but I'm trying to get to a point where I'm more relaxed and more grounded. And I think that's going to come in the future when I go on longer, when I continue this journey. That's where I want to get at. And I'm still learning every day. And it's awesome to have guys who are older than me to look up to and help me out on this journey. And I'm so proud to be a part of this beautiful Unchained podcast. So if anyone who watched this is finding motivation, I encourage you guys to go on this journey, and please comment in the section below. What do you guys think of, me being on the podcast? If you guys want to see me again, and I'm looking forward to working with you guys in the near future for sure.
Absolutely, bro.
Absolutely, bro. And yeah, that's a beautiful thing, man. We're honored to have you here, Johnny, and plenty more times as well. And coming from SpiritWar Martin, man, good job to you, Johnny. Good job to you, Sebastian, and much love to all the fellow retainers and all the listeners out there that's tuning in to the Unchained podcast, episode 90. Coming from SpiritWar Martin, much love to everyone out there, and keep moving forward on your journey, bro, and put God first and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
We
always.
All right, guys. Much love to both of you, man, and to all the viewers. If you guys have made it this far in the episode, shout out to you, bro. Episode 90 of the Unchained podcast with our special guest, Johnny from Sydney, Australia. All right, guys. Hope you guys learned something from this episode, man. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and we'll talk to you guys next time, bro. Much love.
Much love, guys.
All right, guys. Take it easy.
All right, boys. Have a good one.
All right, buddy.